For Vusimuzi cat Matlala, the most revealing moments at the Madlanga Commission may not have been the answers he gave. They may have been the answers he refused to give. When the alleged criminal tycoon was questioned about his relationships with people connected to the South African Police Service, the Commission was confronted with a series of denials, carefully worded responses, and, in one particularly important instance, an explicit decision not to answer because doing so could incriminate him. And that immediately raised a much bigger question. What exactly is Matlala trying to keep out of the public record? Matlala appeared before the Commission while facing allegations of corruption and amid intense scrutiny of his connections to senior police officials, businessmen, and people linked to the controversial Medicae 24 contract with SABC. The evidence leaders were not simply interested in Matlala himself. They wanted to understand the network around him. Who did he know? Who did he communicate with? Who had access to him? And perhaps most importantly, did his relationships give him access to powerful people inside the police and government? One of the first names placed under the spotlight was Mike Van Wyk, the former CEO of Medicae. Matlala was asked about his relationship with Van Wyk. His answer was strikingly cautious. He said he would not describe Van Wyk as a friend. But he immediately explained why he was refusing to go further. His relationship with Van Wyk, he said, was the subject of a matter pending before the courts. Then Matlala invoked his constitutional right against self-incrimination.
I don't know. I would be lying. I don't know.
And you don't know in relation to what aspect of the disciplinary?
What I know is it had to do with General Khan. And then what was the details of the disciplinary hearing, that I don't know.
Besides testifying, what role did you understand was required of you? What role did you understand was expected of you?
Of me?
Yes, in all of this,
No, it's not. There was no role. I think Mr. Madlanga wanted to do me a favor.
Yes.
Because of he was under the impression that at that point I'm not in good terms with the police.
Yes.
So then the very same police, they are the same people who asked him to come and testify. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to do me a favor and then testify in favor of the person that they wanted to discipline, I think.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So maybe then the misunderstanding was mine. You were not being required to go testify.
No, not myself.
Okay.
No.
Then I think I misheard you.
Now, can I just clarify, Mr. Matlala, the favor that you say you think he wanted to do you a favor?
Yes.
The favor would have been what? That General Khan is acquitted?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Can I just, sorry, Mr. Law. Did you speak to Mr. Maluleke when you offered him a place to stay? Who actually spoke to him and arranged a place for him to stay?
I went to see him at the hospital, and then after he got out of the hospital, there's a guy who stays at it's a cottage.
Yes.
So I connected him with that guy, and then he went there.
But he did speak to you?
Who?
Mr. Maluleke?
Yes.
And then you say when there was a raid at your house, you also told him about that?
Yes.
So you spoke to him on at least 2 occasions?
No, a couple of times, not two.
Couple of
times. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And the home where you housed him, where is that?
It's in Pretoria.
Where in Pretoria?
Home in Mamelodi.
In Mamelodi, your
Yes.
home. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. That is then in regard to General Khan's disciplinary hearing. Anything else that is relevant to the question posed at 2.3.1?
Not that I can think of, but if I think of something, I will add it in my supplementary affidavit.
Noted. Thank you. The next question is at 2.3.2, and here you were asked to speak to your involvement in the delivery of Impala to General Sibia and any other forms of gratification you may given to General Sibia. It's at 2.3.2. Once again, that issue is not addressed at all in your statement. Would you like an opportunity to do so now?
Yes, this will also be in my supplementary affidavit because I just heard from the recordings after I've made this affidavit that there's a recording. In that recording, there is a mention. I'm mentioning this Impalas in that recording, and then I did not know by then that there was a recording which speaks about such things. So now I have to go back and then make a supplementary affidavit in relation with this Impala story.
I hear you, because now you want to engage with the recording itself, whether it's by way of questioning or challenging its correctness or otherwise. That's a separate issue. Mine is, you were specifically asked in the 10-6 to speak about the delivery to General Sibia of Impalas and any other form of gratification given to him. So we can confine ourselves to the question as posed. The content of the recording we will deal with in the fullness of time.
Yes, Commissioner, like I said, I do not want to incriminate myself because I know that the recordings are under investigation. And by the time when I made my affidavit, I was not aware of that. So I just heard the recordings after. So I do not want to comment on something which on a later stage will incriminate me.
So that if I understand you correctly, in respect to the question posed at 2.3.2, are you asserting your right against self-incrimination?
Yes.
And what in particular would you be speaking to that places you at risk of self-incrimination insofar as the delivery of Impalas to General Sibia is concerned? I just need to understand the basis upon which you are invoking that. Are you facing criminal charges for that currently?
No, there's investigations.
Yes.
Which has been said in open court that there is current investigations going on. So what I will do is I think I will get the transcripts and then of my court proceedings, and then I think I need to attach them to my supplementary affidavit.
Can you tell, I asked Ms. Hassim here, perhaps because I don't necessarily know everything. Which court proceedings are you referring to?
The Johannesburg High Court.
Is that the attempted murder case?
Yes. Let me try to clarify this.
Please, if you can.
We asked for the recordings during the pre-trial. And then the state advocate said that, no, the recordings, they are not part of that trial, of that case. So it's something else which they are investigating, meaning whatever is in the recordings is under investigation. So hence I'm saying now I do not want to comment on that because I know that it's under investigation.
So this is for my understanding, is it your attitude that the Commission cannot engage you on anything that you suspect is currently under investigation?
Not suspect, something that I know for a fact that is under investigation.
So you cannot be engaged on anything that is currently under investigation?
Yeah,
whatever the basis of investigation and progress of investigation, is that the attitude you assume?
Yes, I do not want to incriminate myself on that.
Sorry to interrupt, my learned
Yes.
friend. Chairperson, again, this issue of General Sibia, I want to place on record, forms part of the whole IDAC matter that we intend to deal with also in our application as well as in the supplementary affidavit. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I just ask to make sure I understand? You're saying there is an investigating officer who is looking at the question of the delivery of Impalas to General Sibia?
I'm saying there is an investigation, the entire recording. So I do not know out of the entire recording which part is investigated, which part is not. But what I'm saying is in that recording, there is the Impala issue in that recording. So I do not know whether it's part of it or not. But what I know is that they're saying that recording itself is under investigation.
So your answer to my question is you are not saying, as a matter of fact, that there is an investigating officer who is investigating the issue of Impalas delivered to General Sibia. That's not what you're saying to us.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, you're not saying that as a fact. You see, you're raising, you say you're reluctant to speak to it because you don't
Yes.
want to incriminate yourself.
Yes.
So it's important that we understand the basis of it. That is it just a suspicion that you have that the delivery of Impalas is being investigated? It's a suspicion and we have to deal with it on the basis that it's a suspicion, or as a matter of fact, there is an investigator, an investigating officer who is looking at this specific question. It is important to understand which one you're relying on.
What I understand is they said there is an investigation, so they did not specify because there's a number of issues in that recording. So they did not specify that directly we're investigating this, not this. That I do not know. So I cannot say it's under investigation or not. But what I know is that the entire recording itself, they say they are investigating it. So I do not want to sit here and saying, no, this is under investigation. Which chances are there? Maybe it might not be under investigation, or it might be. I do not know that.
And if it is not under investigation, you would be able
Of course, yes.
to speak to it.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
And if then I may just follow up on that, you'll be able to make a determination based on the recording itself. Is that what you need to hear in full to understand whether or not there's an investigation, or is there some other exercise we can expect you to undertake to determine whether or not there's an investigation regarding the Impala specifically? Where do we land? I'm trying to anticipate what we can expect in your supplementary, because as you say to Commissioner Balo, you don't know whether specifically the issue of Impalas is the subject of investigation. You can't say that for a fact.
Yes.
You know that it features in the recording.
Yes.
And you need an opportunity to listen to the recording in its entirety. Did I understand you
No,
correctly?
I'm not saying that.
Okay. Then
I've listened to the recording. That's why I'm saying I know that the Impala's issue is part of the recording.
Okay.
I've listened to the recording. I do not know whether the investigating team is also investigating the Impala aspect. I do not know that. What I know is the state advocate said the recordings is under investigation.
Okay.
So which investigation, I cannot tell. I do not know that.
So then it's fair to depart from the premise that when we resume, armed now, by then with your supplementary statement, you will be able to indicate to the commissioners, as a matter of fact, that that particular issue is the subject of ongoing investigations.
I cannot promise that because for me to find out, I have to engage with the investigators then, and I'm currently in custody, so I do not know how I will find a way to find out for sure that they are under investigation or not. I do not know that.
Then, so we leave it on the basis that you will deal with it in the supplementary statement, specifically that issue, and how the Commission then deals with what you say in regard to the Impalas to General Sibia will be the subject of the legal debate, whether or not you are required to answer there too. Is that what you are suggesting?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Is it possible to avoid the legal debate by simply inquiring from IDEC whether this specific issue is the subject of investigation? If they say it is not, then as I understand Mr. Matlala, there would be no reason for him not to answer.
Chairperson, maybe I can deal with that.
Sorry, I was not addressing you. Please wait your turn, Ms. Van Heerden. I'm raising it as a possibility. I'm not saying that's what must happen.
I hear that. We could do that, except that we run the risk of IDEX saying that it's not subject of our investigation. That does not exclude some other law enforcement subs investigations, for instance. And hence my interest to find out from Mr. Matlala what his understanding is in regard to any investigations concerning the Impala. He should be able to indicate.
Can I do this? Sorry, because I wanted you to finish on this issue and then Ms. Van Heerden gets the opportunity. In light of what Ms. Sillo has said, there's no need. I think I'm covered.
But perhaps let me still hear Ms. Van Heerden. It sounded as if you had your ideas on a possible solution. Yes, Ms. Van Heerden.
Chairperson, maybe just for the record legally, the issue of suspicion has got an objective and a subjective part. I think we must all just place this on record. So it's not a question of seeing it very simplistically. That's the first aspect. The second aspect is that when it comes to IDAC, we are in the process and we have been engaging them on certain aspects. So we as officers of the court, that means the legal team, would be able to engage you on that issue itself. It is, I would find it extremely, maybe I should use the word weird, for an accused person who's currently incarcerated to be able to answer the question as to whether there's an investigation on or not. We as legal people normally engage the various authorities that deal with these aspects to establish what the position is with regard to that. But to allay any concerns in that regard, we are busy with this whole issue involving General Sabia and other issues relating to him with IDAC, inter alia. But it's not only IDAC, it was the PKTT itself that was involved in the recording that my client is referred to. And maybe also just to correct that, what was placed on record then, please, I'm not making myself a witness, it's recorded in court. In other words, it's something that can be dealt with here. It was placed on record that the subject of what is contained in these recordings are being investigated. And the inference that I would draw from that thinking back was that the PKTT and their cohorts are busy investigating issues that forms part of this interview that was, or the statement that my client was made to do. But again, as I said, I want to emphasize, we are going to address legal points to you on that in due course as part of the supplementary and on the points eliminated.
And not just the legal issues, but also the pertinent factual question whether there is any investigation relating to the alleged delivery of Impalas to General Sabia by Mr. Matlala.
Indeed, as I've indicated to you,
that factual issue, whether there is, because otherwise the privilege of self-incrimination will be a non-starter. So that should be addressed specifically as a factual issue. Yes.
Chairperson, where I started off this morning, you will recall I said that when we deal with these issues, we have to deal with it on a factual basis and on a legal basis. You cannot have a legal argument in abstracto. It needs to be supported by factual issues. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Then for my own edification, where we land is, Mr. Matlala, when you deal in your supplementary with the issue raised in paragraph 2.3.2, you will definitively state whether or not there is ongoing investigation in respect of the Impalas, and then you deal with the issue of Impalas the best as you can.
Yes.
And who is conducting such an investigation?
Is the, what is it called, GCI Ops, GCI Ops, Gauteng Counterintelligence Operations.
Well, these are matters you'll confirm in your supplementary because it is important. Once you say there are investigations, then it presupposes that you know who is conducting the investigation.
Yes.
So you will state that fact in your supplementary. Thank you. We then turn to item 2. Yes.
Before you step off, just so that nothing falls between the cracks, that paragraph 2.3.2 speaks to it raises two questions. There's the Impala delivery and there's any gratification, any other gratification. So I'm assuming that you adopt the same posture in respect of any other gratifications and that you will then deal with it in your supplementary affidavit as well.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Mr.
Thank you, Commissioner. That then brings us to the question set out in paragraph 2.3.3. And this required you to speak to the circumstances in which Sergeant Fanninkosi came into possession of the Luxo Africa bank card. You were required to list all the periods when he had possession of the card and what, when, and for what he used this card. This you deal with at your page, starting at the bottom of page 13, where you have a heading at paragraph 2.3.3, and you deal with the Luxo Africa brand card at paragraph 16. So if you could take it from there.
Luxo Africa brand is my co-accused in the Medicare tender matter, and as such, I'm unable to respond to the question posed on the paragraph under reply. I'm of the view that I might incriminate myself by answering questions related to Nkosi and Luxo Africa in view of the pending case before the Specialized Commercial Crimes Court.
On that score, then if we, just so we always know what we are dealing with, is this the case you reference at paragraph 7.2? Of your statement at page 9, is that the Specialized Crimes Court, Commercial Crimes Court case? If you could go to page 9.
Yes, yeah,
It is.
Yes.
Then if you go still to, staying with page 9, paragraph 7.2, you recall we discussed the companies, your companies, through which you participated in the security services sector and the health sector. And we had identified Medicare 2420 Pty Limited, which you referenced at paragraph 7.2, At 8, you introduce CAT Protection and Security Services trading as CAT VIP. That's in the security industry. And the third is what the company you reference at paragraph 9 that I think you named Black AK.
Black
Yes.
AK Trading
Black
and
AK
Supplies.
trading and suppliers, which you say you established in 28. So those are the 3 companies we earlier in the morning established. You participated in the 2 sectors. Against that understanding, are you able to highlight what is the relevance then of firstly Luxo Africa brand and what your association with that particular company is for purposes of the health sector or the security sector, as you had testified?
No, this company, it didn't have any relation with any government entity at all.
Yes.
So the funds that I've been transferring funds from my Medicare account to this company. And so this company has been charged with money laundering because they've been following all the monies that been coming from the SAPS tender.
Yes.
So this is how this company ended up being my co-accused.
I understand.
So the statement is no longer being projected.
Thank you, Chair. Apologies, went on a blink for a second there. Now, the rank, Mr. Nkosi. Sergeant Nkosi. Sergeant Nkosi is not an accused in the case you reference here, is he?
No, he's not.
He's not. And the question related not to the inflow of funds into the Luxo Africa Bank account, which you've just explained, that it came from Medicare, the Medicare account. It is the outflow by Sergeant Nkosi. How does that potentially impact the criminal case?
Because now I'm mentioning my co-accused, which I also, Luxo Africa is my co-accused.
Yes.
So the money that went to Sergeant Nkosi is from Luxo Africa. So I do not want to do that because now I still have to ventilate this in court. This Luxo Africa funds, how did they end up into Mr. Nkosi's account?
I understood you to say that the issue really is because it's Medicare 24 and it's Luxo receiving funds from Medicare 24. Perhaps if I ask, are those the only funds that Luxo has received in its account in the period of its existence?
Not that I can think of.
So there might be
It
other
cannot be,
sources.
yes. It cannot be, yeah.
So if there are other sources, Sergeant Nkosi could potentially have been drawing from the other sources that are untainted by the Medicare funds. Again, I struggle to understand how then would that be relevant for the Medicare 24 case? Because this is the spending by Sergeant Nkosi.
It is relevant because it's something which is in the docket. And then it's something which I need to, in court, see how to defend and challenge those charges. It's in the docket, so to speak, and then luckily I even have the disclosure of the docket.
Okay.
I can share it with the commission and see that it is there.
Perhaps then, because I just want to understand and draw a distinction between Luxco as a recipient and Sergeant Nkosi spending the money
Yes.
and sources of funds into that particular bank account. Is it possible then in dealing that we request in your supplementary statement to deal further with the issues that you raise in paragraph 16 and to set out in the supplementary statement regard being head to the question as posed at paragraph 2.3.3, how your rights can be self-incrimination because it's not yours. You are setting a right on behalf of your company that you don't incriminate your company. Is that my understanding?
Yes, it is, because the company, I'm representing the company.
Yes, but the company is an accused in its own right.
Yes.
So we could, perhaps, and I'm saying this mainly to your counsel who, and I believe she'll be assisting you with this, if you can specifically address the question of how Section 35 extends to the question posed at paragraph 2.3.3 in respect of Sergeant Nkosi utilizing the funds of Luxo Africa Bank. Chair, I saw your microphone on. I thought you wanted to say something.
Thank you, thank you. Mr. Matlala, a few minutes back you said, open quote, it is in the docket, close quote. What I want to know is what exactly are you referring to? What is in the docket? Is it matters relating to Sergeant Nkosi and the transactions he made on the Luxo account? What exactly did you mean when you said it is in the docket?
I was referring to the Luxo Africa company, that it is part of the, it's part of my co-accused and it is in the docket. Because the commissioner was asking me that how is it possible that Luxo Africa is not Medicare 24, then why is it also charged with this offense? So I wanted to maybe give her proof that it is in the docket because of, I have proof of that, and then it is also my co-accused. And then I do not want to prejudice my co-accused.
So in the docket, is there anything about the transactions made by Sergeant Nkosi?
I think so. I'm not sure, but during the interview they've mentioned, but I don't know whether they've included in the docket because I haven't seen the contents of the docket yet, but I know there's a disclosure. But
just a minute, please continue.
Yes, but during the interview, he's been mentioned. I just don't know whether he's in the docket or not.
Yeah.
Chairperson, just for the record, and I'm sure you know this, the content of such a docket is sub judice. We cannot disclose what's in the docket in public at this point because it relates to an ongoing investigation, of course. And statements, etc., that's contained in there, we will make ourselves culpable, and my client would, if he does so ahead of time, whilst there's a pending matter and where contents of the docket is subject to that pending matter.
I'm asking the question to understand the basis of Mr. Matlala asserting the privilege against self-incrimination. Because if there's nothing about that, it may well be that the privilege does not arise. I would be very surprised that the issue that you raise can ever preclude us from asking these sort of questions. I would be very surprised if that is what the law is.
Chairperson, that's why I've indicated to you we're going to deal factually with these issues before you. I do understand that you have a right to ask questions. We've never disputed that right to ask the questions.
In the interest of time, may I make this suggestion? Ms. Silo, I hope both you and Ms. Vandenheever will agree to this. Let us leave this Luxo question and let us see what the supplementary affidavit will say, and in particular about the issues that we have specifically raised. But of course, we would want to hear more and the full basis on which the right against self-incrimination is being asserted. Let us leave it at that.
Of course, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Staying then, Mr. Matlala, with the notice, we then move to paragraph 2.3.4 in the notice, and that required you to speak to the loan or funding agreement entered into with Mr. Suleiman Karim or any of his companies in or about June 2022 or any other date, including requesting you to provide a copy of such agreement and that you speak to the terms of such agreement.
Did you say 2022 or did I
2024.
Apologies.
June 2024, that's the correct date. That is what is understood to be the date of the conclusion of this loan agreement. So that was the request to you at paragraph 2.3.4. You deal with that at your page 14 at paragraph 17. So if you could read that perhaps into the record. Thank you.
The loan agreement referred to herein is part of an ongoing criminal matter, and as such, I'm unable to respond to the question posed on the paragraph under reply. I'm of the view that I may incriminate myself by answering questions related to this loan agreement, as I believe it forms part of the Medicaid criminal matter which is pending before court. I was advised that there is a financial investigation being carried out with respect to all monies paid by SABC into Medicare and any transaction made in general within Medicare bank accounts, and it is for this reason that I do not wish to incriminate myself.
If I understand your paragraph 2.17, your paragraph 17 correctly, the investigation relates to monies paid by SABC. You state as such at your paragraph 17, right? That's what the investigation is about.
Yes.
Now, then it is safe to conclude that any funding and loans received from Mr. Karim in terms of a loan agreement does not constitute monies paid by SABC.
It is.
Mr. Karim is SABC.
No, not
Okay.
paid by SABC, because I was paying the money back to Mr. Karim from the monies paid by SABC.
So it says the investigation is into monies paid by SABC into Medicare, and you say that that investigation extends to payments you would have made out of the funds in Medicare to
Yes,
pay
yes.
the loan.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the question relates to your receipt of the loan, not how the loan was treated thereafter. The question is very specific.